Welcome back to the cottage. It's snowing outside this morning, and I'm getting ready to head to the thrift shop. It's the kind of day that naturally slows you down and makes even the simple errands feel more intentional. Winter has a way of doing that, inviting you to move a little slower, pay a bit more attention. I don't thrift with a long checklist of items, but I do keep a small one in mind. More of a guide, not a rule. Sometimes it helps to look at places like Pinterest beforehand, not to hunt for the exact items, but to notice the colors, the textures, and the feelings you're drawn to. That way, when you walk in, you're choosing with intention instead of impulse. I think a lot of people forget that thrifting isn't just for antiques or home decor. It can be where you find gifts, clothing, clothes for your children, books, kitchen tools, and even small appliances. The thrift store holds so much value, and most people don't realize it. I've always been drawn to things that sit right on the edge of being forgotten. Pieces that were once chosen and then quietly set aside. Not because there's anything wrong with them, because someone else was finished with them, and now it gets to be my turn. Welcome back to the homestead cottage. I am so glad you're here. I have been thrifting for the last few weeks, putting everything in this basket to show you. I don't have a ton of finds. Typically this time of year, it's January, is a really good time to go thrifting, but I haven't found anything that I don't have or that I just had to have, but I did find some really nice finds. I thought in this video that I would show you a little bit of what I typically grab at a thrift store, things maybe I leave behind, how I style them when I get home, and just like tips for you if you would like to start thrifting more for not only your home decor, but your everyday things. So there's a little bit of everything in this basket. We have our home decor type things, we have some clothing, we have some linens, we have some good stuff. So let's get started. To start off, we have baskets. You guys already know that I love baskets. My family teases me about baskets and throw pillows, which reminds me, I need some more throw pillows. That is on my thrift list all the time, and I have not found a good pillow at a thrift store in many, many moons. But I got these two baskets, 25 cents each. Much of this came from either our local share shop, which is 25 cents each. Some things are like $1 or $2, but most everything is 25 cents each. Absolutely love it. Or I got it from Goodwill. I try to do Sundays when they introduce their new half off price and their clothing, their certain colored clothing goes down to $1 a piece. That's when I try to go to Goodwill, because Goodwill is typically overpriced, but I have found some really good finds the last few times I've been there. So again, I got these from our local share shop. I will be thinking I'm going to be hanging them on my little basket wall that I have. I got this also from our share shop. It looks like it may have been maybe a belt to a skirt or something like that. But what I really wanted to use this for is headbands. It has these beautiful little flowers. Let's see if I can show you. These beautiful little flowers on it in different colors of red and blue. And I thought this would just be perfect during summer. I love this piece. Again, 25 cents from the share shop. Most everything I'm going to talk about first is going to come from the share shop, which is obviously 25 cents, but then we'll get into the Goodwill finds. I found this beautiful linen round tablecloth. Again, it is got these such dainty little flowers on them. So pretty. They're in different shades of pink and blue. And I don't know if I'm gonna ever use this in here. I could, but I also am thinking about doing farmers markets for our flowers this year. So I'm keeping that in mind, but we also host events here on the farm. And I thought these tablecloths would be so nice, and they just fit the vibe of the flower farm. I found another scarf. I don't typically use these as scarves. I tie them in my hair, or I use them for decor. But I just loved the color. It is that dark green with polka dots. Other linens that I've got, I love shopping for linens, washcloths, napkins, tea towels, regular dishcloths, tablecloths, table runners from thrift stores. All of these came from the thrift store, so we'll do them kind of quickly. I love picking up doilies. They're not everybody's style. I know that. It is definitely your grandma style. I love putting these under like my candles in the kitchen. It adds a layer of texture. I'll show you how I style these in a little bit, but I really do like doilies. All of these again came from the share shop, 25 cents. This I thought would be perfect for summer. It is just a regular dishcloth, but I love the gingham and the red floral together. Thought that was so cute. The next two are gingham. Gingham is very popular right now. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be our chevron or our buffalo check from a few years ago. Actually, that was more than a few years ago, but I love gingham, always have. I got these gingham napkins. So pretty. There's only 3 of them here, but they're pretty large, and I thought that they would do very good for like drying dishes and stuff like that. And they would be perfect for the spring and summer too. And then I got another tablecloth, and this is actually a square one or a rectangle one. I'm not sure. Oh, nope, it is a round one. I lied to you. So another round tablecloth I thought would be perfect for summer workshops. It's a little too bright for in here, but I will definitely be using those in workshops. So that's everything I got from the share shop this week. Now let's move on. Wait, no. Did I get this? No, I got this from Goodwill. Yep, all the rest I got from Goodwill. So we'll start with the clothing. The share shop does have clothing. I didn't get any. Did I get anything this week? No, I didn't get anything this week. But little strawberry button up is by the Lucky brand. I don't know if that's a good brand or not. I am not very good with brands. I love the little strawberry details on it. And I thought this would be perfect with a pair of jean shorts and perfect for spring. A lot of spring stuff here. Almost everything is spring related. I guess I have spring on my mind, which I think is like 60 some days away, like 63 days away at the time of filming this. I found this shirt by Laura Ashley, but I'll give you a little close up. So again, I thought that would be perfect with some jean shorts. So I've been looking for this for a long time. As you can see, I'm in my skirt era. I love skirts. They're just so comfortable. I love the way I feel in them. I found this very nice. It is by Sincerely Jewel. Floor length skirt. It's not floor length on me. It's gonna hit right about my ankles. Very good quality. Unfortunately, none of these were on sale at Goodwill, so I didn't pay $1 for them. I believe the skirt was $6, and these 2 shirts, I want to say $4 or $5. It's a little high. I know it's not high to many, but it's a little high for me. But I loved those, and that's what I snagged. I also snagged a pair of boots for my daughter and a shirt for her, but that's in her room. The next thing I grabbed, I'll show you a little clip of this, were these mugs. I found this first mug, and then I kind of scanned, and I caught the second one down there. I had to go back and make sure there wasn't any more. These are so adorable. They don't have a brand name that I can read. It just says Japan on them. They are so beautiful. They are nice and large, but they're stout too. So I don't know, I just absolutely love them. I love the color of them. You guys know I love floral. So those came home with me. I did not need any more mugs. I really didn't. So I think this is on everybody's thrift list from what I can tell, is these accordion shelves, hooks, whatever you want to call them. I actually had an old one at my old house, and it was one of the last things I was going to take off the wall and move. I didn't have any tools on me, and it ended up staying because I couldn't get it off the wall. So I replaced this one, which is fine because there's not a ton of places that I would be able to put it, but I got a small one. I think it's super cute. I think I'm gonna put this in the kitchen. We'll find out in a minute. And then I found this frame, and I'll show you what I did to it. Hold on one second. So I found this frame. I found, I think, almost an identical one probably 2 months ago at Goodwill. That's in my bedroom right now. It is so beautiful. The details on it are just incredibly pretty. It has these like brass details, and it opens like that. Now you're not meant to hang these, but what I wanted to do is I have these really pretty blue recipe cards, and of course I have some gingham fabric. I'm telling you all, we're all going to hate gingham at some point in time, but I wanted to display one of my mom's recipes. It was actually my grandma's recipe, but my mom makes this recipe for most of our birthdays. It is called a soggy chocolate cake, and most everybody in our family wants it for their birthday. So I'm going to have her write her soggy chocolate cake recipe in her handwriting, and I'm going to display it in my kitchen. I'm probably going to hang it up right now, because I'm excited to style some of these things. But when she writes it on this card, I will then replace it. But I absolutely love this, and I think it is so pretty.
Thrifting is definitely very intentional. When something in our home needs to be replaced, or we realize there's something we're in need of, the thrift store is typically our first stop. If it's something that can wait and doesn't need to be purchased, we are patient. We keep checking back. That way it helps our budget, it helps us consume less, and of course, in a way, we're recycling people's unused things for things we really need. Over the years, I have found so many everyday things, not just decoration and not just clothing. Think vacuum sealer, mason jars, knife set, coats, boots, blankets, things we use all the time and we never have to buy new. One of my favorite things to buy at the thrift store is actually dishcloths. We don't use paper towels in our house most of the time, and I can get dishcloths for pennies on the dollar. But don't fret, my favorite thing to buy at the thrift store will always be home decorations. When it comes to styling your home, I always think it helps to slow down before you purchase. How are you going to use this item? Do you have a place for it? Will it need to be stored? You don't always have to have all the answers, but sometimes you just fall in love with something, but before you even ask those questions, maybe you won't even use it and it will be piled up somewhere. I don't keep all of my decorations out year-round, even though I love decorating. It's one of my favorite parts of the creative process. The pieces I'm not using are stored on open shelves instead of packed away in boxes. That way, when I want to change something up, I can come down here, shop from my own collection, and it feels like a thrift store right in my storage room. If you have the space for that, I highly recommend it. Cycling things out, it keeps everything feeling fresh, and you don't get tired of the pieces that you once fell in love with. And if something truly just isn't working anymore, try not to let it just disappear into a box somewhere. Either take it back to the store or put it on Facebook Marketplace, pass it along. Chances are someone else might be looking for that same exact thing. And of course, what better gift to give to somebody than the use of something they'll love? One of the most common things I get is, where do you go thrift shopping at? We only have a crappy Goodwill in town, and I completely understand that. But here are some ideas: garage sales during the seasonal months. Even churches have rummage sales, but many of them also have missionary and thrift stores that help support their causes that they give back to the community, or missionary trips. Small towns a lot of time have some type of community type thrift store that they use to raise funds that go back into the community. And of course, there's still places like Goodwill, Salvation Army, when there's nothing else nearby. But here are some other ideas to think of. There's Facebook Marketplace, and a lot of times they have auction houses. Just be careful, a lot of times the competitiveness of the auction will drive items up. I ran into this on my beautiful 4-poster bed. It paid more than I really wanted to pay for it, but it is in our home, and I love it. Once everything is settled, this is my favorite part. Just sitting here with it, letting the house feel quiet again, watching how the light moves across the things we've gathered over time. Thrifting has taught me patience, but it also has taught me to trust the process. Not everything needs to come together all at once. A home can be built slowly, piece by piece, with intention. I love knowing that so many of the things around me once lived somewhere else. They were part of someone else's story, and now they get to be a part of ours. Not because they weren't perfect, but because they found a place where they finally belong. This is what makes home feel like home. Layers, texture, creativity, and the freedom to change things as life changes. I thank you so much for hanging out with us today on our homestead. I wish you the brightest seasons ahead.